But I mean, I got your numbers back. I ran an actual, instead of just positive or negative, I got your actual levels of what is still present in the system.
Yeah, you said it was really low.
No, I mean, it's low. I've seen numbers that are, I literally asked a therapist over in the city who who see those numbers all the time. She's like, she has a patient that the numbers was 800. Literally smoking every single day, and a lot of it. Your numbers don't reflect that, but they also don't reflect almost 2 months of sobriety.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at. Brian said that we got to do a screen today. He says we have the numbers now from last week. The numbers should be down. Did you smoke in between when I talked to you last compared to where we did now?
I haven't smoked since December. I told you that.
Well, I mean, I was concerned about our last phone call of, when you're saying, I might as well be smoking all the time, I wasn't sure if you were just hitting a case of the fuckets and you're like, well, I might as well smoke. I mean,
well, I should have been.
I see people do that all the time.
I did a bunch of research and it says it could last up to 90 days.
Hair follicle.
No, that's urine. Google it. I promise you. This is from like Colorado and places that have medical marijuana.
I'm very skeptical of, just Googling anything. It's like Wikipedia.
This was I looked through, I was spending hours looking at this. Trust me, do it, I promise you.
I'm telling you, that'll literally go against everything of my education has shown me.
Well, I don't know what, stuff must have been taught something from like the 80s or something, the 90s.
Anything within 5 years is almost obsolete. That's how constantly the stuff is getting turned over. Half of what I learned from when I first started school during my undergrad isn't even relevant even more. That's why we had to do the thing on ongoing training. We have to create a certain number of education hours every single 3 years to renew our licensures because of how rapidly everything keeps
It said improving. 90 days for people that smoke like 5-6 times a day, or 5-6 times a week, and I was smoking 5-6 times a day.
It's gonna be more.
I was smoking concentrated.
As I said, it's gonna be more for people who do it more, for people who are a little bit heavier, and all of that stuff. But it shouldn't have been that high. Regardless, it doesn't matter at this point. We know where your levels are now. We know that essentially it should be lower. It shouldn't be higher, it shouldn't be the same. I know, just treatment-wise, you kind of got to figure out what you want to do, if you're going to comply with treatment, or if you want to find a Suboxone provider and want to just, enjoy your last, the way that you were kind of phrasing it is, enjoy your last couple of months on the outside. Or do you want to participate in treatment and, go for this long term? Those are questions that you got to be able to answer yourselves. I can't do that for you. I can't force you to be here. Stuff like that. All I can do is hold you accountable and responsible for the rules that you kind of signed up for. So, more than willing to work with you in anything that you want to obtain. If you want to find a provider in the community, I can try and set you up with that. If you want to stay in here, these are kind of the treatment recommendations that that everybody has to follow. Again, not my rules, but I do have to enforce them and hold people accountable.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep trying to do this for now, and I got a doctor's appointment next week, so.
Okay. I'll give you a heads up for group. You know who Russell Brand is?
Mm-mm.
You ever see Forgetting Sarah Marshall, or Get Him to the Greek? It's a British comedian. Let's see. You ever seen him?
Oh yeah.
Russell Brand, famous as he would like to say, famous smackhead.
Yeah.
He kind of took AA's 12 steps and made his own. So that's kind of what we're doing in group. Is we watched a little video of him kind of explaining his steps. So a lot of barrier for people in AA, NA, stuff like that is the religiosity aspect of it. If you don't believe in God, that's hard to do AA because that's kind of surrendering yourself to God or a higher power. So it kind of takes a little bit of that out of it. So first step is admitting you have a problem. His first step, are you a bit fucked? Second step is bringing in the higher power. Can God fix you, or more or less? Second step, could you not be fucked? Third step, are you on your own going to unfuck yourself?
Oh my god.
So 4 is a moral inventory, is always like write down anything, any bad maladaptive behaviors, people you've hurt, stuff along those lines. So his is write down all the things that are fucking you up or have ever fucked you up, and don't lie or leave out anything. Moral inventory. People typically struggle with that step because you really have to look inwards of everything you've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
5 is confide in, talk to God and somebody else, talk to your higher power and somebody else, and share with them everything that you've done. Honestly, tell someone trustworthy about how fucked you are. So as you can see, this is kind of taking it a little bit out of a while AA is peer run, it's this is for people who struggle with that whole God aspect, and also the formality of AA. I know that you struggle with people and trust and stuff like that. The big component of all of this is everybody in that room has shit going on themselves.
Mm.
People in that room is looking for help and support, just like everybody else. So it kind of tries to take trust out of the equation of one, anonymity, confidentiality, all of the things that everybody has signed that I've already talked to you about, of just group norms, group rules. What we say in group stays in group. So as I said, I think that it can be beneficial for you, but you have to give it an honest shot. So that's what we're going to be going over tomorrow. We got halfway through step 1, so we'll probably start looking through a little bit of that. We'll try to get into step 2 and 3. Again, I may re-show the video just to give a refresher for people, because Russell Brand literally talks for like 10 minutes about his steps, and who better to go through it than the man who wrote them.
Mm-hmm. I thought you were about to tell me he was coming or something. I was like, what?
Yeah, that'd be
what the
cool.
fuck?
That'd be cool. So yeah. Questions, concerns, anything you're confused about. As I told you, I try to be as transparent as possible and try to hold everybody to the same level of accountability that, whether I like you or not, it does not matter. That's what I tell everybody. It doesn't matter how I feel about you.
It blows my mind that it's still in my system, though. That's why I seriously looked it up for hours, dude.
So
I'm just telling you, check it out later, because what they're.
I do my research. I promise you that.
Okay. Well, I found it on hundreds of pages.
People can write hundreds of pages of complete BS.
They're all like medical pages,
Do you know how to make your way through an actual scientific study?
No.
So there's a difference of just medical pages and actual controlled environments, and a specific set of parameters in running actual